about 7 years ago as a co-op, and it was a group of a bunch of home brewers and people just really interested in craft beer, people who wanted to get craft beer in Oklahoma, because we just didn't have that many breweries based out of Oklahoma serving quality craft beer for the masses.
We, myself and two partners, kind of met in the community through some mutual acquaintances and just being about, and then a couple of us met at the lake, and then JD and Mark met over a beer and bowl session. But anyway, within about a month or so, the three of us had gotten together, and we had all started thinking about or talking about the fact that there wasn't a production brewery in Oklahoma City. So Mark was a home brewer, and JD had some advertising and marketing background, and my background was finance. So we kind of put our heads together and started thinking about what it would mean for Oklahoma City to have a brewery, and that was kind of the kickoff.
So I believe our first beer was the Grand Sport Porter, but the first two beers in cans were the Horny Toad Blonde and the Native Amber. And then I would say our best sellers are going to be our F5 IPA and the DNR, the Belgian Strong Ale. The reason COOP Ale Works uses cans is because most communities in Oklahoma recycle aluminum. Not all communities recycle glass. So that is one way to reduce our environmental impact. We also recycle our spent grain. We give it to a farmer named Curtis. He's about 7 miles down the road, and he feeds it to his cattle. We also were one of the first companies to sign up for OG&E wind power. So 100% of our electricity comes from wind power. So we have 6 full-strength beers, and we have all kinds, from blonde to a porter. We have a hoppy amber, we have a super hoppy IPA, our F5. We have a wheat beer, which is a Hefeweizen style, and we also have a strong Belgian dark, and that's our DNR beer. We also have 3 3-2 beers for grocery stores and gas stations. One's a Belgian table style ale, one's a hoppy pale ale, and one's a brown ale made with molasses from Sapulpa. We also have a Territorial Reserve family, which is a barley wine, a wheat wine, a rye wine, and an imperial stout. And those are aged in bourbon barrels, and we release those a couple times a year. So it's not every year that one comes out, but most years we'll have at least 2.
I'd say the 2 biggest obstacles that we've dealt with here have been capacity and kind of cultural education. On the capacity side, at our first facility, almost out the gate, we were capacity stricken. We had to buy more fermenters, and then we eventually ran out of space, and then we're reconfiguring things, stacking things on top of each other just to see if we can make it work. But we grew exponentially fast, and we're still growing very fast. But in that first facility, we had to kind of cut our teeth there for 5 years, and we couldn't afford to move. So constantly trying to fulfill demand and kind of hold back on our creative exercises so that we could continue to provide beer to people who were drinking it. That was the biggest struggle for the first 5 years. This facility has cured that. The second biggest thing for us that's been challenging has been the growth of the kind of beer culture in Oklahoma, because we're the first big brewery in the city, the first production brewery, and teaching people about strong beer, not 3-2 beer, has been kind of an education. And frankly, in Oklahoma, 88% of all the beer that's consumed is 3-2 beer. So you're talking Miller Lite, Coors Light, and trying to educate people as to the expansion of their palate and trying to teach them about beer and that it doesn't all taste gross. There's this evolution that they go through typically from drinking light beers, light lagers, into ales, and then we just kind of see this progression and people start to blossom and be more experimental.
Looking forward, we'd like to expand to states regionally close to us. So right now we distribute to Kansas, Arkansas, and Nebraska. We just signed on to distribute into Kansas City, Missouri, and we might create a land bridge out more east. I don't see us going nationally, but I see us maybe having a strong regional presence. I think COOP offers so many different styles of beer. I don't think one person's going to like all of them, but I think everyone will like one of our beers.
We're really interested in building quality of life for our team and people that are drinking our beer. So, the quality beer for quality living is something that we've talked about, and we've started to put that branding on some things, but it really boils down to what it means for us on a daily basis to come to work. We're not really huge on mission statements, things like that, but at the end of the day, if somebody's drinking our beer and it's enhancing their quality of life, that's really where we get satisfaction. So that quality beer for quality living is something that we're really starting to focus on and just try to live that day in and day out.